I kind of hate the way that technology is portrayed in the media, whether in the news or in movies or TV shows. Our phones are represented as these devices that transform us away from everything, though I don't feel like this is the case. I feel like we are really the problem when it comes to technology, and the human reaction our society has had to it is what should be focused on, but is not focused on enough. The internet has been shown to be a useful tool in our society. There are lots that wouldn't have been discovered or shared otherwise if it weren't for the internet. It has helped with things like academic education, social awareness, and the reach of large news events that have helped the world in coming together to help support change and make good things happen. The internet has been a plentiful tool that has aided in the development of humanity in a huge way, and there are aspects of the internet that can be dangerously intriguing to the human mind, and that's what I want to bring light to today. The internet started in the 60s as a way for the government to share information. The World Wide Web came along later in the 80s and has become what we think of when considering what the internet is. While the web is only part of the entirety of the internet, it's what I want to focus on throughout this video, as it's easily become the most popular way of using the internet. Since the 60s, the internet has evolved into a tool that is used by a total of 5.35 billion people, or 66% of the Earth's population, daily. It has truly created a category of its own when considering human-made resources for information, considering that you can use the internet to search and figure out just about anything. On top of being an incredibly accessible resource for whatever question you may have, the internet can be and is used as a way to connect different parts of our world. We can better understand the needs of different countries and use this information to take action and lend a hand to those who need it. Social movements have begun that have changed parts of our society that needed to be changed. You can also sell things through the web. You can find a babysitter, or you can find your soulmate. I've even personally learned how to produce music through tutorials on YouTube, so the possibilities have really become seemingly endless. Overall, becoming educated has evolved for the better since the days before the creation of the internet. The question is, when does the expansiveness of this resource begin to limit the human experience? With rapid evolution comes a dragging time period of adjustment that exposes just how unregulated the internet is and continues to be. We as a society are living through a period of time where the population is largely affected in a negative way by technology, specifically the internet. Social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram contain content that is not only addictive, but may advance misinformation or promote unhealthy viewpoints. Many have called upon these applications to regulate misinformation and harmful content, but attempts have been futile. Though some regulation exists, it is not sufficient when considering the amount of content that still exists. With vulnerable audiences, social media can become divisive and a place where inaccurate or malicious content can be spread, normalized, and supported. In our day and age, the internet can feel incredibly overwhelming. Social status can be attributed to how large your numbers are, and comparisons to others can come naturally, as it's become such a regular encounter online to see someone living the lifestyle that you wish you could have, but just don't. With many social media users hooked to these applications, there is constant influx of harmful content that they are consuming. This leads to inevitable disconnection from reality. So how do we fix this? I see the issue with those who rely heavily on social media in their day-to-day lives being an issue of misunderstanding. Misunderstanding of the harm that an internet addiction can cause. Misunderstanding how we, as a society, view internet addiction as a normalized state of dissociation, and misunderstanding that social media is the only way we can maintain our connections to others. Without proper limitations regarding internet usage, the negative impacts of excessive use can control one's life. Due to the shortfall of proper education regarding regulation of internet use, the general public seems to lack understanding of using the internet in moderation. Many of us are taught in school at a young age about the importance of moderation in regards to food. With us now living in a technological state, education regarding the moderation of internet usage must also become a standard. Further, this lack of education has also led to the normalization of internet addiction, as there is no baseline for what healthy internet usage may look like. Internet addiction leads to a constant state of dissociation and a lack of connectedness to surroundings and others. If internet addiction were to be addressed as a serious mental health problem affecting many, it could shift public perspective on internet usage and its consequences. Lastly, many users of social media believe that these applications are their most valuable source of social connections. Though users may be able to consume content from anywhere in the world, they also lose sight and connection to what matters most: what's in front of them. Our social connections are not meant to function on such a wide scale. And this is what leads social media users to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and disconnection. When users begin to understand their value in their community on a smaller scale, they can also begin to become socially connected to their environments in a more natural way. All this to say, while there is not much we can currently do to stop the internet from rapidly evolving and growing into an even bigger problem, it is possible for you to take a step back and ground yourself in the present. The internet is such a spectacle that looking away can be incredibly difficult, but also incredibly beneficial. Doing things for yourself and your own growth can be a great way to quell anxieties rooted in staying up to date on the fast-moving environment of the internet. Regulating usage is important in being in control of the internet and not letting it control you as well. While the internet can seem enjoyable at times, many of us find that it becomes a distraction for us from connecting with others and experiencing the full intensity of our feelings. If you currently feel disconnected from your reality, or stepping back from the internet causes those feelings to arise, just know that that's okay and it's normal. As a society, we attempt to drown out feelings of negativity and live in happier moments because that's what we may have been taught. But that's also naturally how our brain works. But leaving those feelings of depression or repressed anxiety deep within can be a disservice to ourselves. And we are the only ones with the power to change that. I believe that each of us has the individual choice to make for our own health and happiness and embrace the present moment day by day.